Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Aaron Francis. How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm good. It's good to see you again.
Likewise, I'm very excited to see you in person again. And
hmm
remember, oh, yeah, he's like quite tall.
Yeah, the first time we met in person was just a couple months ago. I feel like we're IRL friends now, so it's gonna be
Yeah,
good to see
yeah.
you
Well,
again.
that's something that I keep on talking about with people is when you meet somebody in real life for the first time, it changes the relationship and like
Totally.
improves it a big time.
Yep.
Like even people you don't really vibe with, once you meet them in person, you may still not vibe with them, but at least you understand them better and like you can relate better.
Yeah. You
So
you might find out that Dax is actually a really sweet, nice person. It's gonna be a huge surprise to everyone.
yes,
I'm so
that
excited.
is
I've met
actually
him.
well
I've
said.
met him once in person, and it was awesome. So I'm excited to see everybody. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'm super stoked about that. Have you met Ryan Florence yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, that'll be great. Yeah, good to get the two of you together. Prepare to. A lot of people are surprised to find out that he's like my height, which is pretty like medium height person. So people are like, I thought you'd be taller, and he's always like, what does that even mean? Why would you say that?
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people that have met, particularly Ryan Florence in person, and they're like, "Man, in person, he is so sweet and nice, and online, he's kind of a curmudgeon." And so I'm
yeah,
actually really excited to meet him in person.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be great. Well, so Aaron, you're gonna be speaking at the conference. I reached out to you specifically because you have this like work ethic and this attitude toward life in general that I just really admire, and I want more people to embody that and to have that down to earth mentality. Your talk title is "Epic Bets: Practical Tips for Betting on Yourself." I would like you to expound on that a little bit. So, what are you like? What's your history around this topic, and
hmm
what are you hoping to share with everybody?
Yeah, I'll start with what I'm hoping to share, and then go back to history. I'm hoping to assuage some fears. I think there's a lot of like uncertainty as to what the future of our kind of industry is. And I think there are some things that you can do as a developer to make yourself more resilient. And so that's kind of the crux of what I want to share with people is like, how do you as a working developer become a more resilient working developer? And so we can't become layoff proof and we can't become AI proof, but we can become less fragile to those things. I got laid off not too long ago. And so I feel like I have a lot to share there because a lot of the things that I did before I got laid off set me up to be resilient through that layoff and eventually take the big bet on myself, which was to go full time with my friend Steve doing our own thing. And so that leads a little bit to the history. I am not a college educated CS developer. I am college educated, but in accounting, and so there's been a lot of things that I've like had to learn by myself on the fly, and I've navigated honestly a lot of career changes, which is weird at 35, but I think that is normal now that by 35 you've changed careers like four times. And so um, I started as an accountant and then was in development and then did some marketing analyst stuff and then was, a developer educator. And so I've done all of these things, but I think looking back, I am grateful to myself for having stacked certain skills on top of each other that allow me to then kind of just pick and choose where I want to go next. And so those are some of the things that I want to, share with the audience and hopefully leave people feeling like, yes, the future is uncertain, but I am taking steps to make sure that I am ready for that uncertain future.
Yeah, yeah. Have you read the book Anti-Fragile? I can't remember who authored
I
it, but
haven't. Uh-uh.
yeah, the idea is that even you set up your company or yourself in such a way that when there are turbulence, you actually become stronger,
hmm
which is a very interesting concept and kind of made me think of that. I think another concept that I think about with this is you want to build the bridge before you need to cross the chasm.
Totally.
And it takes occasionally a chasm's going to show up unexpectedly,
hmm
like you're going to get laid off, and you want to have some kind of network there or something ready so that you don't have to take a leap of faith, but it's just a natural next step.
Yeah, and I think I'm in maybe a unique position to do this because of my background, which is non-traditional. I live in Dallas, Texas. It's not a hub for anything except, I guess, oil money. But like I was able, I got laid off, and then the next week I had literally 40 calls. And
Wow.
so it's one of those things where I think a lot of people from the outside look and think, oh, okay, well, they, went to Stanford or whatever. They worked at some big startup, or they're in the Valley, or, whatever. And it's like, I'm kind of a guy that's been remote here in Dallas without a proper education for, the past 15 years. And like, I'm making it work. And so I
Mm-hmm.
hope that it becomes relatable that like, hey, listen, if I can write some stuff on a blog and end up getting jobs, you can absolutely do that. And that is truly my story, is just like writing stuff down and talking about it and getting opportunities. And I think that's available to everyone. It's just really scary to do. And so my goal is to hopefully encourage people to be like, you can do this. Here are some practical ways to do it. And I don't know what this will give you in the future, but I can say that it is something good. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't promise you're going to get a job at XYZ, and I can't promise that you're going to go on to, start a startup or whatever. But I can pretty much promise that by doing these things, you will set yourself up for some sort of good outcome. And that's the goal.
No, that is so true. Like it's the pursuit of greatness may not get you to the like place that you were trying to go, but that pursuit is what gears you up for wherever you end up, and
Yes.
gives you more opportunities. It increases your luck surface area, all of
Mm-hmm.
that stuff.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to that talk. I think that's going to be a really good one. People should definitely not miss it. And once you get off stage, there are going to be a lot of people who want to talk with you. What are some topics that you think would really get you fired up and excited to talk with them?
Oh goodness. On the off chance that anyone is like super into databases or Laravel, those are always safe bets. I think more broadly applicable and more, sorry, Laravel and databases, more interesting to me would be like um living a life where it's like you're proud of what you do. Like I've got 4 kids under 4. I've got a wife that works incredibly hard but doesn't get paid. I've got a ton of pressure, and I want to be able to look back on this stage of life and say I tried my absolute hardest, I did my best, and hopefully things went well. That part's outside of my control. But
Mm,
the concept of giving it everything you got because that is the right, pure, and noble thing to do, even when it is hard, and like being honest and open about that, that's the kind of stuff where I'm like, I could talk about that for hours.
mm,
Databases too, but that's the kind of like human stuff that I'm like, yeah, it is hard. Let's talk about how to be a dad or a mom and try to run your own company and try to show up online and not do rage bait and like actually share like part of yourself with the online world, even if the algorithm doesn't like it, because
hmm.
that's the right thing to do. And so those are the kind of things where I'm like, yeah, let's talk about that. I think it's very necessary.
Yeah, I totally love that, and I actually think that your company's name embodies a lot of that.
Hmm.
Try Hard Studios.
Hmm.
I actually think about that quite often. Here on your profile page, it says Aaron Francis, co-founder of Try Hard Studios, and I just think that's
Hmm.
the coolest thing. That it's just such a part of who you are, is that you're
Hmm.
just gonna do your best in whatever capacity you're in, and there are rewards, like natural rewards from doing that, but also just like internally, you feel so much
Yes.
better about yourself
Yep.
because you know you did your best.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to be able to go to sleep at night and to one day hopefully look back on a long life and say I did not leave anything on the table. And that
Mhm.
includes on the family side. I'm not giving it all up just to like be some online success. No, I want to look back on my life and say, I tried my hardest at being a good dad, at being a business owner, at being a husband. And if I can do that, regardless of what, success I have or have not, I will feel very, very good about the way that I lived my life.
I absolutely love that. I feel like that's inspiring. That's exactly the sort of thing I want on stage. So thank you for giving us some of your time to
Of
talk
course.
about that. And
There's plenty more
from
where that came from. So y'all make sure not to miss it.
yeah, we got energy coming to Salt Lake. So, Aaron, this has just been awesome. I could continue to talk with you about this forever, but we're going to keep it short to encourage people to come and have this conversation in person. So, yeah, really looking forward to having you at the conference. Just 2 months away now. So we'll see you in March.
Sounds good. See you there.
Bye, everybody.